You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
And so what did you think when you saw the oil spill?
I was devastated, and it affected a lot of my immediate family and friends around me. My daughter actually had a respiratory issue. She was just about 6 months old when the oil spill happened, and she had to have like breathing treatments and things like this because she was, I believe, was breathing in that strong oil. It was very strong. It smelled like burnt tires for at least, I felt like 2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks. And it just was an absolute nightmare, you know, and I happened to be working at Enbridge, cleaning their main office facilities. And one day we were looking for light bulbs that had went out in one of the rooms, and we went in the basement, and they had deep freezers there full of dead animals with oil all over them. And that was just shocking. I didn't know what to think of that, and I remember immediately calling John. But yeah, it was a nightmare.
Well, you were scared, weren't you?
I was scared because you were getting like the death threats at that time, and so that put fear in me. Like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was trying to get her to take some pictures down in the basement of all these dead animals and all the freezers. I'm not saying that it would have changed anything, but what I've learned by doing this is every little bit of evidence, it adds up. And because I can break a pencil by itself easy, but if you put 100 pencils together, I can't break them. And that was my goal. I just wanted to get enough information that the normal person, whether you're an oil worker, whether you support oil, whether you support the environment, it didn't matter. I wanted everybody to make their own educational decision on the evidence that I gathered. And I have so much evidence. There's probably 75% at least of the evidence that I've never showed anybody. I have hard drives all over the country just in case I'm murdered, which I believe possibly could protect me at the moment. But my whole goal was to, you know, get the word out about what's really going on behind the scenes, the things that they're not going to tell you. So, can you tell me a little bit more about when the spill happened in our hometown?
I believe it happened in 2009. 10. Okay, yeah. Okay, that would make sense. My daughter was born 2009, 2010, 6 months later. She was like 6 months old. And I remember one day it just smelling like burnt tires, so strong. And I was living downtown, which is not too far from the river. Excuse me. And I remember it being I felt like it was hard to breathe, and like I said before, my daughter was on a breathing treatment, a nebulizer machine, because she had some immediate breathing issues and everything like that when that took place. But yeah, I mean, it was awful. I mean, I know it had to have been extremely harmful, and to be honest, if John hadn't been out there interviewing people and, you know, documenting and videotaping, nobody would have really knew the extent of the worst of it. They would not have actually known how bad it truly was because, yeah, we would have smelt something, you know, and we would have known that there was the oil spill. They would have come out for a couple years, cleaned it up, supposedly cleaned it up, covered it up, and then, you know, but if it wasn't for John out there putting his life on the line, you know, he made an extreme impact in the community and worldwide for that matter. So I'm very thankful for that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think, do the people in our area, in the state of Michigan and Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Marshall, the people that know about what I did, do they support me or are they mad at me?
No, absolutely. I believe they support you 100%. It's just the people who were out for blood against you are the ones that didn't like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I see stuff on the internet, even some activists, and we found out later that they were trying to start groups to get donation money to try to fund their organization, and they were upset because I was getting all the publicity, but I was doing all the work. They weren't out there digging holes. They weren't out there showing the oil. They weren't out there getting death threats.
Right.
And so that has been hard for me in our community for a while. And they even made a fake website. You haven't probably seen this, but there's a fake website that they put up. And it says that there is dozens and dozens of people and businesses that signed this document saying that they did not support me. And, oh yeah, it was horrible. Now, we had an attorney contact all these people, and there was nobody on there that wasn't these couple activists that were trying to start these groups to get money for their own, whatever they wanted to do with that money.
Right.
But it's just crazy. They were saying all this negative things, and they were even saying my family was talking bad about me.
Did you think that could have been the oil company's minions out there trying to purposely just get under your skin? Or
it could have, but I know some of the activists.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't understand why in the hell, and a few of them, Michelle Barland-Smith, Chris Walmhoff, Rod Weber, these are a few people that you wouldn't know. But they were horrible to me, and they said all these mean things, and they said all these lies. And I actually had to get an attorney to prove my innocence. And, it's my community. This is where I was born. I was born in Battle Creek, Michigan. Mm-hmm. And for these people, after all I've sacrificed, I should be dead by now.
Right.
There's very few whistleblowers that are still alive after they do what I do and cost companies hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of future dollars. And so it's hurt me. But, for you being on the show, you're in the local community, you know the truth.
Right.
And the truth is...
Right. And I know that you're a good person who is out for the truth, and you're willing to risk it all in order for everybody else to be safe and healthy, and there's not too many people out there like you that's willing to do that and put their life on the line, their reputation on the line. And and I know that you did it with a sincere heart, and it wasn't out for anything but 100% you just being you and genuine.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
I actually never even had a PayPal. I never accepted donations or anything until 2016 when I was out to Standing Rock. The chiefs out there asked me to get a PayPal because they said, John, you can't keep doing this out of your own pocket. It's just too big and it's too massive. And they're right. I have to get funding. I have to figure this out. I just got Help.org official recently. And, but, it means a lot to me to have somebody in my community. Have you ever heard anybody that did not work for oil companies ever talk bad about what I was doing in the community?
Never.
All right.
No.
Well, this is important for me. I'm also videotaping everybody. I wanted to get that out because I'm going to make a little video for my hometown and my community about some of these people that have infiltrated these environmental groups pretending like they care, pretending like they're water protectors, when the truth is some of them, matter of fact, Rod Weber is really good friends with Jeb Bush. There's many videos out there where Rod Weber is holding hands with Jeb Bush, which is one of the biggest oil families in the entire world, and he's actually being told, hey, this is my brother from another mother. This is, I love this guy. And this is, a presidential candidate, Jeb Bush, that we're talking about. So this Rod Weber guy infiltrated me. When I was out to Standing Rock for 6 weeks, he actually stayed in my camper. He lived with me. I fed him, and I love the guy. I would have jumped in front of a bullet for him. And I had no idea he was set up. I had no idea he was an infiltrator. I had no idea that he actually was going to get taken off YouTube, Big Oil Whistleblower. which is the documentary I made about oil spills, and it's only just part of the footage I have. But he actually took that down a couple days before we had 90 groups around the world that were going to play it at movie theaters and libraries and conference centers and everywhere. They spent a lot of money to rent these places. 90 different places they had. I think it was 91. And I sent all of them t-shirts for free. I sent all of them DVDs. I sent them bumper stickers. I spent so much money out of my pocket. And I traveled around the country right after that. And I went to 20 states giving presentations about oil spills. And I even documented a couple more during my journey. But I can't believe this guy says he's a water protector and would take down one of the most important videos to help the environment and protect the world against oil that's ever been out there. And so I just wanted to get that out there. If anybody ever knows Chris Walmhoff, Michelle Barland-Smith, or Rod Weber, please be cautious. Don't trust them. I'm just telling you, they were a snake to me.